Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our webinar on staying connected with Google Meet. We're very glad that you're here. I just wanted to point out a couple of things before we get started. There's a 20-second delay between our presenting and what you see. So if you have questions, please feel free to put them in the chat on the right side. We have moderators from our EdTech team here who will be able to answer those questions. My name is Tasha Burke-Peart, and I'm a specialist with the EdTech department.
Hi, everyone. I'm Rebecca Smekla, coming to you 20 seconds in the future from my home office living room. Good to see you. Glad you're here.
And this recording is going to be, this is actually recorded. So we will put all of the recordings from our webinars on our website, which is edtechtraining.palmbeachschools.org. So you'll have an opportunity to view all the webinars on our website. So we're going to go ahead and get started with Google Meet.
All right, everyone. So let's get going, right? So first we want to talk about what is Google Meet. So Google Meet is a video conferencing app. It's now available to all district employees and all district students. Our Google Meet is locked down to our domain though. So those students, it is still in a private environment. So you can pre-schedule meetings with calendar events. We want to caution you to only do that when you are meeting with teachers. Then we also are going to show you how you should integrate with students.
So, like Rebecca said, there's so much that you can do with Google Meet. Whole video meetings, you can have virtual office hours, you can present your screen. Participants can add captions to the Google Meet. You can chat with participants, record your meetings. Now, what we're doing right now is a little bit different from Google Hangouts Meet. We're actually doing a live stream, but what we're talking about is your normal Google Hangouts Meet. Where can you start a meeting? What we'd like for you to do is go to the app selector. Go to the app selector to start a meeting. All right, or you can go to meet.google.com and you'll be able to give your meeting a unique name. And now Rebecca, when we go live, is going to show you exactly what that means, going to meet.google.com and giving your meeting a nickname and why you would even give your meeting a nickname. And then she'll also talk to you about going through the app selector.
Okay, so with the updates that Google has given us as advanced features that are available to all G Suite customers through July 1st. So right now you can host a Google Meet with up to 250 participants. You also now have the ability to record meetings and your lessons. When you record those meetings and the lessons, they auto-save into your Google Drive. And not only will you get the video recording, you will also get a Google Doc that has the transcripts from that meeting. So it will record everything your participants say. Google has been listening to our educators as we are moving forward with distance learning with our students, and they are providing some improvements for remote learning. So right now, the meeting creator, you, the teacher, you will be the only one that can mute participants, and you will also be the only one that can remove participants. That functionality is available now. So when you try your next meeting and you have students join and other participants, you, the teacher, will be the only one that can mute students or remove students. So coming soon, this is not available yet. It is on gradual rapid release. We are hoping that it's going to be available soon, but there is one issue right now, and we want you to be well aware of it, is that meeting participants at this time can rejoin meetings once the participant is left, so the room is open. In the future, when a teacher creates a meeting by going through the app selector or going to meet.google.com, they will be able to close out the room once the final participant has left. So just so you know, that is not available yet, but we are hoping it will be available within the next week.
Okay, so we wanted to give you some examples of how you can use Google Meet, especially in this difficult situation that we're in. So for your administration, you can have faculty and staff meetings, virtual meetings. We have our morning check-in meeting with our team every morning using Google Meet. Your leadership team meetings, your support staff meetings, any type of district meeting. And for teachers, for teaching and recording lessons for students, you can pre-record lessons. You can share recorded lessons with other teachers, have grade level meetings, and even someone mentioned the other day, small group meetings. You can have small group meetings with students through Google Hangouts Meet.
So right now, we are going to demonstrate how to use Google Meet and get some practice in for you. So what you're seeing here is a screenshot of what your toolbar is going to look like when you go into Google Meet. So down at the bottom, you'll see the meeting details. You'll see how to mute your mic, how to end the call. You'll see how to turn your camera on and off. There's also the option to turn on captions, how to present your screen. Over in the bottom right-hand corner, you'll see 3 dots. By clicking that, you're going to get another option, and that's where you're going to have the option to record your meeting.
So when we do go live, Rebecca's going to share her screen and walk us through some things. So we're actually going to click on the Meet app within the app selector so you see what that looks like to create a unique session for Google Meet, how to start the meeting, how to turn on your captions, how to record it, as she mentioned, how to add people, and more importantly, how to drop that link into Google Classroom. And then we're going to go over some student etiquette. So there's a student etiquette guide that somebody created. We thought it was really, really, really beneficial to share with you. And then we're going to talk to you about how to present your screen. So let's go live.
Right before we go live, we're going to share that etiquette guide. And this we did not create. This was created by Evolving Educators, but they have offered it up to anyone to use, to edit. However, it can help you if you've already come up with your own etiquette guide. We're not saying that you have to use this one. It was just an option that we thought was pretty good. So teaching our students as soon as they come into a meet to mute themselves if they're not already muted. If a student has a question, to type it in the text box and wait for the teacher to call on you before you speak. For contributing, we want our students to wait their turn, use the chat feature again. Looking at the camera, that really helps when you're talking to people to keep it engaging, and staying attentive when others are speaking to you as well. So now we are going to go live, and that's not working, so I'm going to go back into this. So we're going to go and click our Meet app in the app selector. So let me present my screen. I'm presenting my screen, never mind. Okay, so we're going to go into our mail or anywhere you have your app selector, and you're going to look for the Google Meet icon. Yours may be down here, and if it is, you can just grab it and drag it and put it wherever you want. So if you want it to be top, you can. So go ahead.
And before you do that, Rebecca, can we just go back to the app selector, because I do want to point out that the icon for Google Meet does look different from the icon from Google Hangouts, okay? So Google Hangouts is the one with like the quotation mark, and Google Meet is the one that we're actually be doing for recording.
Thank you, Tasha. Okay, so you want to click on to that, and that's going to take you to meet.google.com. And this is the preferred way, because this is the only way you can create a unique nickname for your class. And this is how you're going to be able to close the room when it's done. So thinking of a unique nickname, You don't want to do test because there's probably going to be a lot of other people who think, I'm just going to do a test room, right? So for today, I'm going to do Ed Tech training room, and maybe I'll even make it even more unique. So now I have my room, and I'm going to click continue.
And one thing about naming, we threw out some suggestions and options for you, like maybe the last 4 digits of your employee number along with your name and maybe school number. But as Rebecca mentioned, you just want to make sure it's unique.
Okay, so now I'm here. I can check my audio, my video. I can see myself. If I click the 3 dots, I can then go on and check my camera and my video to make sure I have the correct one that I want. So you can do that before you actually go into the room. There's no one here now, but if it was already populated with 4 or 5 people, maybe I would want to check that before I go in. So I'm going to join. And now that I'm in, I have my information. So I can copy this joining info right here. And I can go into my Google Classroom. And I can just drop that right into the stream. And I can post that for my students. So they can then join by link, or they can also join by phone by entering that PIN. I'm going to pop back over into my Meet and show you. You can also add people specifically by just typing in their names. So I'm going to invite Tasha to join the meeting. I'm going to send her an invitation, and she'll be joining us shortly. So while we're waiting on Tasha, I'm going to show you a couple of things on the toolbar down at the bottom. So on the left, I can see my meeting details. So if I needed to copy that information again, I could. Hi, Tasha.
Hi, I already muted my mic.
And then I can turn my mic on and off. I can leave the call. I can turn my camera on or off. I'm going to go ahead and turn on my captions. Turning on captions can be very beneficial for our students at home so they can actually see what is being said. And then there's my present now, which I'm going to get to in just a second. But here's my more options. I'm going to definitely want to record this meeting. And that way I can drop that link into my Google Classroom. It is going to ask for consent, and we will accept. And you'll see in the top left-hand corner, now we are recording. So we have the recording. So, hi, Tasha's in the chat already. We're going to get to the chat in just a second. So now that it is recording, once the recording starts, it's going to email a link around, right after you finish, up to 10 minutes, and it's going to give you the video and the transcript from the chat. Or actually, I don't know if it gives you the chat transcript. It gives you a transcript of does it include the chat and the audio? Thank you, Tasha.
It
you want to talk about that?
Yes, when you...
Well, hello.
This
would be a good indicator of how I can mute someone or kick them out if I wanted to. So Jose jumped in, which is cool. We like participation. But let's say Jose, I didn't want Jose in. I could easily go over here to my People tab, and I could click Remove. I am the only one that can do that. So because I'm the teacher, if Jose tried to kick out Tasha, can't do it. If he tried to kick out me, he cannot do it. So I have the control here for who's muted. Now I can't unmute Jose, but I can mute him.
So with the video recording, you're going to get a copy of the video recording in that Meet recording folder in your Google Drive. And it also will give you a transcript as a Google Doc, time-stamped with everyone's names. So you'll see all the information in the chat.
And you can go ahead and in that chat, you can drop in links as well. So if I wanted to drop in the link to the slides, do I have a copy of these slides open? I'll have to go to my email. I could do that. or any other links that you want your students to go to. If you wanted them to go to a website, you could drop that link in. Let's see. So our suggestion would be the first time you open this up with your students, you review the etiquette guide with them, or whatever your recommendation is going to be for best practices with using Google Meet. But you'll be able to click on the People tab on the right, and it's going to put all of your teacher or your students in alphabetical order. So you'll be able to see them. It does alphabetize by first name, which is just takes a little getting used to if you're used to using your roster. So it will alphabetize by first name. You're going to be on the top, and then all of your students will be on the bottom on the People tab. And another thing right here, if you see, I'm scrolling over the pin, I can pin Tasha to my screen so I only see Tasha, and then I can click that pin and take her off. I can also pin myself. So if I want to be showing, the whiteboard and doing a math problem, I can do that with my students very easily and make sure that I'm the only one on the screen. And then I can unpin them as well. Down in the bottom right, again, you also have some other change layout. You can go into a different layout as well. So if you wanted to do just a spotlight on one person, or if you wanted to change it to sidebar, and that puts everyone's faces out on the side. That's only me and Tasha now. Jose left, so it's just going to be us. Tasha, you want to cover anything else?
Let's see. I think you covered a lot of the important things, the present now, the captions, all the different settings. Encourage your students to use the chat. This is the one difference between what we're doing right now, the live stream versus Google Meet, because with the live stream, we can't interact.
Correct. So with the live stream, we don't have that chat capability. It's just, if you created a live stream for your students to watch, they're watching only. It is not a back and forth with collaboration. So we recommend using just a live Google Meet with the chat. The only reason we're not using it today is because it does have that limit of 250 people. And we wanted to make sure that all teachers would have an opportunity to attend live if they could. So I am going to now pop back into our slides and talk about closing a meeting. So right now, oh, go ahead, Tasha.
No, you go.
So right now, when you're closing a meeting, you would ask your students to leave. If we have a few who are stragglers, you can go in and remove them the same way I showed you earlier. And then you would close the room after all students have exited, and then close the rating tab on the right as well. So you'll see this, you left the meeting, how it's audio and video, a rating tab, you'll need to close that as well. This will keep students from entering a room without the teacher being present. Not yet, okay? I just want to be very clear. Right now, students can rejoin the meeting. This is an improvement that Google is working with educators right now to put forth, but right now that I tested it this morning and it still doesn't work. We're hoping very soon that will work, but I just want to be very clear. Right now, students can rejoin the room. And if you have any questions about that, again, please put them in the chat. We're about 20 seconds ahead of you in the future.
And please know that as we get updates, we share the updates with you. So as soon as we get word that something has changed, something has improved about this, we'll definitely reach out and make sure that everybody is on the same page so that we're doing the best that we can for our students.
Absolutely. I don't know if one of my teammates has already dropped the slides in to the chat, but if you could please do that again. These additional resources are hot linked for you. The first one is Google's own Welcome to Your First Day of Google Hangouts Meet, and it has some PDFs that you can download for starting sessions. There's also a Google Meet teacher guide that EdTech has created that has links to all kinds of fun stuff. Google has a new website, teachfromhome.google, which we'll answer your questions about all of the Google applications. And then we also shared with you that Google Meet Student Etiquette Guide. That is a JPEG. It's an image, so you'll have to use it as you will, but it's free to edit, to share, and it's pretty good in our opinion.
So hi everyone, my name is John Shoemaker from EdTech 2. I've kind of been in the chat as the main moderator with my colleagues. One question that I saw come up that I wrote down was, can you demo how to actually hit the record button on the Meet so that people can record them?
Sure. Yes, we can do that. Let me go and stop the recording, and then I'll do it again. So once you're in the Meet, on the bottom toolbar, and you might not see that toolbar. If you don't see the toolbar, just take your mouse, your cursor, and click in the middle, and then it'll pop up down on the bottom because it does go away. And if you go all the way to the right, you'll see 3 dots. And once you click those 3 dots, more options are going to pop up. So there's your record meeting right there. You'll just click that. A pop-up is going to ask for consent, and you click accept, and you'll see on the top left-hand side, now you are recording. So as long as you're recording, it's going to show up here. Another thing about recording that we discovered is when you record, let's say you were presenting your slides and you go into present now, and I want to say I'm going to present my entire screen, and I'm clicking the screen I want to present, and I click share. So now let's say I want to share my slide deck. When I get the recording back, I'm going to see the slide deck, but I'm also going to see picture-in-picture of me teaching. So if I'm teaching to my students and I'm showing them different slides, I'm still going to see myself on the screen with the recording. You don't actually see it as it's recording, but when you get a copy of the recording, it's all picture-in-picture. So you're still on screen. Keep that in mind.
And one thing to also point out, we made a comment earlier when we were looking at the app selector. If your interface looks a little bit different, double check that you're not on Google Hangouts versus Google Meet. So that's one troubleshooting thing. If you don't see the record button, it could be that you're in Google Hangouts and not in Google Meet.
Right, so you don't want to use the video inside of Mail, is what Tasha is saying, because it doesn't give you the option to record.
Oh, that's a very good question, Lori. Yes, you can use Google Meet from an iPad. You have to get the app. There are mobile apps for Google Meet, and it is across any device, iPad or Android. So yes, you can. Well, your unwanted video recordings, the workflow is after you record, it takes a little bit of process time, but after it records, it puts the video in a Meet recording folder in your Google Drive. So if there's a recording in there that you don't want, you can just simply, like you would any other document, Google Drive, you can get rid of it. But please know that the person who created the meeting and the person who, if it was a calendar invite, the person who created the calendar invite, they're going to automatically get a copy of it. You have to physically get a link to share. Maybe, Rebecca, do you want to show the Meet folder from your Google Drive?
Sure. So anytime you record, it's going to automatically create a folder for you, and all of your meets are going to go into this. So if you scroll down, eventually, I have a lot of folders. It's loading. There we go. So if you scroll down, Google is going to create a folder for you called Meet Recordings. So inside of that folder is going to be every recording that you create. So if you notice, it's going to timestamp it. But what you can do is easily right-click and rename that meeting. So it is pertinent to your class. So we'll just say lesson 1, water cycle, and then you would click OK. I personally would leave the timestamp because it shows you the date and the time that it was recorded. And then you could take that link and get a shareable link and then drop that right into your Google Classroom so your students have access.
Can you read a book aloud without copyright restrictions? Oh, well, you asking like two really good people because we're both former library media specialists. So
the answer is maybe. It depends on the book.
It depends, yeah.
Publishers have been relaxing the restrictions on reading aloud during these trying times, but not all publishers have. So you would really need to research the publisher of the book that you want to read aloud. You can always read a small portion of it aloud, and that's not copyright infringement. But what we've noticed in the community is a lot of our authors are reading their own books aloud for children at home. So you might want to just check on YouTube or check on the publisher's website, and that they might have a video of the author reading their own work. So
that's a great question. And iPhone or Android, yes, but you have to get the app. You have to work it through the app since we're not going. So right now we're going through our Chrome browser, and if you're using a mobile device, you have to get the mobile app for. I would highly recommend if a student is using an iPad or any other mobile device, just to get the core suite of Google apps: Classroom, Docs, Slides, Meet. Have all of those, calendar all together.
Yeah, absolutely. All Google Meet is available on any device. And
Scholastic Book is giving permission with guidelines for read aloud. Thank you, Denise.
There you
That's
go.
awesome.
Awesome, Denise. Thank you for sharing that.
Tips for audio.
So I don't know the answer to that one. Shu, you want to jump in?
Yeah, I was going to jump in on this one. Honestly, we really haven't found an easy way to do a live viewing of a YouTube video inside of a Meet where the audio works well. It's almost something where you would have to almost have the kids watch the video before you come into your Meet, or it would be after your Meet. So post it to your classroom, say, please watch this before we meet together.
That's a great idea.
Only because that is definitely an issue that we know of is seen. Rebecca, real quick, I've seen it a couple times now, and I don't know if it's been addressed, but can you show how to present your screen? People are asking how they can show their PowerPoint inside of their Meet, and I think some people get a little confused because they hit present and then they see the inception windows, and they don't really understand that their screen is actually showing on the screen, and they just have to trust that their screen is up there.
Yes, I will show that again. Let me go into the Meet. Okay, let me join. And I'm good with that. Okay, so to present your screen, you're going to go down to the bottom right, and you're going to see the button that says Present Now. Click that button, and it's going to give you the option. Do you want to present your entire screen, which is going to allow you to go between your tabs, or do you just want a window? So I'm going to go with entire screen. That way I can stay on my Meet and then also access my slides. So I have two monitors here. Don't let that confuse you. If you're working from just a laptop with one screen, it's only going to give you the one option. So I'm going to click the screen. You actually have to click the one you want and then click Share. So now I'm presenting my screen, and now I can then go into my slide deck, and I can present this to my students. I wouldn't present it this fast. I was just getting to the beginning. And now I'm presenting. And if I'm recording, at the same time that I'm presenting, in the recording, you'll see your picture in picture. So while you're actually presenting to your students, you'll only see the slides unless you pop back into your Meet tab. Okay, so if I go back to my slides, I can present. And then once I'm finished presenting, I'll go back into Google Meet and click Stop Presenting. And that's going to boot me right back into the video chat with my students. Did that answer it correctly, Shu?
Yeah, I think that was good.
Okay.
I know there's lots of questions
So again,
going on. Go ahead.
Our website is right at the bottom, edtechtraining.palmbeachschools.org. We have a calendar with all of the webinars that we have planned. We're just trying to provide as much support for you as we can, because we know that this is new, and transitioning to an online platform when you were traditionally face-to-face presents its own challenges. So just know that all of us at the EdTech team are here for you. Here is Rebecca and my email address. But if you look on the contact page of our training website, we have all of our email addresses on there. Please feel free to email us because we're here for you.
And just so I can be crystal clear, because I keep seeing it, if you are confused, we are not recommending that you create the Meet using the Google Calendar invite like we've been doing for years. Google's updating it because of the situation we're dealing with. Google has updated it, so we are telling you that we want you to go to the waffle inside of your email, or go to meet.google.com. And so see, there's the little waffle right there. And you're inside of your email, there's a link to the Meet right there. That's how you start your meetings with your students. That's the best and easiest way. And then you just create a new Meet right on this screen.
Right. As Shu said, that the icon in the waffle is just a shortcut to meet.google.com. So if you want to just go to meet.google.com, you can. The reason we're recommending it going through the mail or the waffle is because then you're logged into your school account. Okay. Correct. So you don't want to get your personal account and your school account mixed up. So going through mail or going through the waffle, the app selector takes you to meet.google.com, but you then know you are logged into the domain. And then go ahead.
No, I was just going to say,
show the waffle again.
So the waffle,
okay.
If you're in your email, or if you are in your Google Drive, or even if you're in Google Classroom, you'll see that same waffle with the apps there.
Oh, and look, there's my drive, and look, my video was clicked on, so you can actually do a preview of your video inside your drive.
That's awesome.
Add a description. Yeah.
As we shared, all of this is going to be on our EdTech training site. As soon as we end this broadcast, this will be able to be replayed literally right on YouTube almost immediately. It just has to process quickly. We have office hours all day tomorrow. There are 3 different office hour options on our website. All you do is pop in, and that will be a Meet where you can actually ask questions with audio or chat. Again, most are a little confused. We're doing this because we anticipated more than 250 people, and we were correct with 350 people right now. So Google Meet has a limit of 250 people, which is why we're doing it this way. There are 2 more webinars today. There's one at 1 o'clock, which is all about hitting the reset button on your classroom. And that live stream is all about what it's going to be like on Tuesday, because it's almost like resetting and starting over a whole school year. So we're going to review some ideas for routines and rules and procedures. And then at 2:30, there is also a Getting Started with Google Classroom Session 1 live stream, where we'll be live again. Please note that each of these are different links, so you can't just hang out on this page. When we end it, it's going to boot you off. but at 1 o'clock, you're going to want to come back in and click on remote learning. You can come about a half an hour early, or you can let it load right now and it'll go whenever we go live. I know there are more questions. Please feel free to reach out to the EdTech team. Our contact info is in the top right corner. We're going to end the broadcast for now, but please feel free to reach out to us any way you need. Is there any other parting words that you ladies would like to share?
Shu, if just someone from our team can drop the slides in from today's session again.
Yep, they've been in there.
Yeah, because just so all the participants know, all of those resources and the blog post for how Google is improving remote learning, those are all hyperlinked inside of the presentation. So those are just some extra additional resources for you.
And for most of you, you will never, ever, ever need to do a live stream. We're doing a live stream because of how many people we need to reach in this time frame. You're going to be doing a Google Meet with your students. So with that, please feel free to reach out to the EdTech team, join us for office hours or the other sessions. Ladies.
Okay.